Hi there, my name's Nicola and I am simply a stitcher. I thought I'd join the Flosstube bandwagon. That's something I've been planning to do for a long time, but I've just never got around to it. I am in my 40s, old enough to know better, 3 children, 2 of which are grown up, and I've stitched on and off now since I was 14 years old. The last few years have been a little bit difficult, not had quite so much time to carry on and do my stitching as often as I would like. Work gets in the way, life gets in the way, but still, don't think I do too badly. I do manage to get quite a bit of stitchy time in these days, mainly due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Now I work from home full time, which saves me between 2 and 3 hours a day, and that's time that I can dedicate on to stitching, and it's marvellous because this year I have got loads done. So what I thought I'd do in this first one is talk about what I've done since the beginning of the year. I have some works in progress, I have some haul and some plans and a few other bits and pieces. So if we start first of all with my works in progress, I've currently got 2 main ones that I'm working on and a third which is in the background at the moment, but I'm looking to start doing a little bit more work on that, and I'll get to that when I get there. So the first piece I'm working on is my main focus piece, and it's a Haid, and it is by artwork by Marta Darlig, and it is Avarice. She's one of the set of the 7 deadly sins, and each of these ones they're all the same size, all 7 of them, and they are roughly 400 by 600 stitches, so 240,000 stitches. This is also my oldest whip. Started working on this one back in 2011, which was in hindsight a bit of a mistake because I got a toddler at the time, a 2-year-old, and I was about to move house, and I moved house and I put in some more work on her, and then life got in the way again, so I put it down. And this year I decided I was going to pick it back up and to get on and get some serious progress in on this, because with it being my oldest whip, I want it done. So back when I put this down, it kind of looked like this, so I got about halfway through. I do apologise, I know it looks like I'm filming on a potato. So she was about halfway through, about 48%. Then I got a pattern keeper, and I was like, yeah! Putting on my little details, so it's got some sun glare coming through now, the sun's actually coming out. And loaded it all in, and I thought, oh great, I can see my progress. And people say it's a game changer, and it actually is, because in just a little over 3 weeks I've gone from 48% and I've added in a whole other side of it, and I'm something like 61% complete now. And if I carry on stitching at the rate that I am, this one will be done before the end of the year, hopefully before the end of the summer. But I have a family. I have 3 daughters of my own. I've got a husband, I've got an ex-husband, but we'll not talk about him. I have a brother and a sister, and my brother has recently acknowledged that I do this craft and I can create pictures and convert pictures. My husband is actually the guy who runs StitchPix photo conversions. It's on Facebook, we'll put a link down below. So copyright free charts, or charts with permission to convert, they can be converted into a cross stitch pattern. So my brother got wind of this and he's like, yeah, I want you to do a couple of things for me. So at the end of last year I did a picture of his car in black and white. I haven't got a picture of it at the moment, I'll try and remember and show it next time. But this time he said, I'd like to do another picture, but I want it of my motorbike. So I'm like, yeah, not a problem. Send me the picture, we'll get Andy to convert it and we'll get started. It's going to be a full coverage piece and it's about 110,000 stitches. I'm going to be doing it on 25 count 1/1 even weave, just the same as Avarice, and it's going to look something, oh, fat fingers, going to look something like that when it's done. It's Kawasaki Motorcycle. It is actually in green, you can't see it very well because of the sunshine. And I have started it. I'm about 6,000 stitches in, but it's not terribly interesting because you can't even see it. It's all white, it's all the background that I'm doing. In fact, you probably can just see it in the shadowy bits, you know, so. But it's boring. Stitching all this background is boring, which is why I'm rotating it between this and Avarice, because when you stitch for gold with golds and pale greens and browns for a long time, that gets boring. So I switch to this to get bored with this, then I go back to that, and so on and so on and so on. So those are my two main works in progress. My third one, which I've joined a Facebook group called Strand Tonight, and it's going to hopefully inspire me to finish this. I've had it on the go since November last year, since I finished doing my brother's car, and it's the piece that everybody knows. Most people have got lots of people have started it, lots of people have finished it. There's so many colourways, and it's inspirational to see how people have interpreted this piece. Of course, I am talking about Long Dog Samplers, Pandemic. It was released in the summer last year for free, and then now you have to pay for it. So anybody asks me, I'm not giving you any of my patterns, you go pay for them. And so far I'm a number of pages in. I think I'm about 6 pages in. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 9 pages, nearly 10 pages in. It's a while since I've looked at this, can you tell? So naughty. I really should finish this before I started something else. But as stitches, we all know you have to have more than one whip. So here's how it looks. And this is stitched actually 1/1 on 28 count, and I do apologise, the glare from the sunshine is kind of spoiling the colour on it, but it's DMC 154, and if you look very closely you can see the animals, the people, I've actually done in 310, just to pick those out a little bit and highlight them so that it's a little bit, you know, more interesting. But as you can see down there, I'm not that far away from finishing page 10, but I figure if I put this in a rotation as part of one strand a night, I'll probably see some progress on it, and it might just inspire me to work more than one strand a night, or one strand in an early morning, because even though I don't travel to the office anymore, I'm still an early riser with 3 children. Morning time, my early time, is the best stitchy time. I'm wide awake-ish, I can focus, I don't have a child in my ear, or the husband's in, or we're cooking a meal, or the cat's meowing for a food. I'm surprised she's not busting here, actually. She does sometimes, usually at 2 a.m, but that's another story. So, one strand a night. My plan is that by the next time I update Flosstube, I'm going to have seen some progress on this, because I want it done, I want it up, I want it in here. You can see my wedding picture there, and this board here is my bucket list and places that I like to go, because I love to travel. Me and my husband like to travel, but obviously we can't do it at the moment. But I do want this to be finished, and I want it in here somewhere, maybe on this wall here, who knows. Got to get a frame for it first. Frame pieces. Got a few of them that are waiting to be framed, but that's another story again, maybe for another Flosstube. Okay, so I also have joined the Full Coverage Fanatics group and their Stitch Around Iceland challenge, and this year I thought I'm going to really going to work hard to do this, because I love stitching and it's my therapy, it's my mindfulness. I suffer from anxiety, and I do find it very calming, very relaxing, and it's just really, for me, it's my thing, and the family know it's my thing, and my husband's like, you're not you without a needle and thread in your hand, and everybody knows that of me, who sees me in real life on a day-to-day basis. Everybody knows. So for the first One Strand a Night, not the One Strand a Night, I'm in the wrong group, Full Coverage Fanatics challenge that I joined was Stitch Around Iceland. Now, if you're not in Full Coverage Fanatics, the Stitch Around Iceland has 3 routes, and per kilometre they give you a certain amount of stitches. And you've got the easy route, the intermediate route, and the hard route. Me being me, I've chosen the hard route, and this year I have to do something like 380,000 stitches or something like that, which, to be fair, I'm on track to do it. Yay for no travelling time. So this year, the New Year New Start that I did, I thought, well, I'll put this as a full coverage piece as part of the Stitch Around Iceland, and I did it. I completed the piece, 74,000 stitches in about 10 weeks, maybe less. But if I'm honest with you, it's really strange, because it's one of those pieces that now I've done it, I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's a Joy Sunday piece, and it was a stamped cross stitch, and everybody was saying, oh yes, you've got to get these stamped cross stitches, they're great, they're already pre-stamped, it's so easy to do, you don't have to think about it. And that was great, and I thought, yeah, that's really tempting, and to a degree that's what I want. I want to be able to stitch and kind of do it mindlessly, and I actually quite enjoyed stitching it. The process, the stamping, the stamp stitching, it was quite enjoyable. My husband hated it, because he sits at the other, I've got a sort of 3-seater sofa, and he sits at the other end of it at his computer, and all he could hear was this needle moving through the fabric. Because of the painting on it, it actually was quite tough at times to get the needles through, and I ended up with calluses on my fingers and all sorts of things. And the piece itself that I chose was this one. It's called the Tree of Dreams, and I thought it's really pretty, I like that. So I ordered this, and I think it was something like, I don't know, 15 quid or something for the full kit off. I can't remember where I bought it from. I bought it well in advance. I bought it in like September, October last year. And it measures 62 by 53 centimetres. So that's the whole piece, not just the stamp parts. The stamp part is a little bit less. And it using cotton floss. I knew a little bit about Joy Sunday, and I kind of knew that they don't use DMC floss, and I'm a big DMC fan. Simply a stitcher, I like to stitch on white fabric, use DMC floss. I don't like beading very much. I don't really like backstitch very much. I don't really like using variegated flosses or anything like that very much. For me, it just has to be simple: needle, thread, pattern, stitch. That's it. So that's kind of why, you know, this kit appealed to me. But I knew they didn't use DMC floss, and now I've done it and I've completed it, I don't know how I feel about it, because looking at it very closely, it doesn't feel like the stitches lay as I would like them, even though I tend to kind of railroad my stitches where I can. It seems to have, you know, like when you get a jumper that's got that little bit of bobbling, it seems for me to have that slight bobbled appearance, although I can't actually physically see any bobbles, but just that sort of soft brushiness, you know, of the top of the floss. But anyway, I did complete it as part of the full coverage Fanatics challenge, and this is how it looks. It still needs washing. It's a bit too big for me to kind of stretch out all in one, I'm afraid, but it still needs a wash to take the paint out of it, and it's very stiff, you know, not like Avarice, which just flaps about. It's very soft. This one is just, I think you can probably hear the kind of crinkliness of it. But yeah, I still have to wash out, but it had some gorgeous colours in it, some lovely blues, and then the moon or sun, or you know, whichever deity entity which you would call this. I love that, and I like that's why I fell in love with the piece, because of that. Don't know why, just it was stitching something I loved the look of it. But anyway, finished that. So moving kind of a bit further down the line, so since the start of the year I have had a few things in haul. The first thing that I bought, I have a birthday in January, so I'm quite lucky as an adult now. You know, I was never lucky as a kid. Having a January birthday, everybody was skint. You know, no money. But now as an adult, I'm kind of a bit luckier, because people tend to be getting me money for Christmas and money for my birthday. So usually end of January I'm thinking, yeah, I can go and get some haul, you know. So the first thing I did, new Android tablet. Oh, there's me in reflection, in there, reflection. Woo. Okay, Harry Potter chess set at the side of my little filming station here, you know. But anyway, new tablet, brilliant. Downloaded and installed Pattern Keeper, changed my life. If you haven't got it, go get it now. Do it now while you're thinking about it. If you stitch, you haven't got it, you're missing out, especially if you get digital files. You are absolutely missing out. I also got a little fancy doodad to save my husband's feet. My stitcher corner, this is obviously my bedroom, my stitcher corner is downstairs in my living room. I have a very naughty husband, I love him very much. But he's very naughty, because he walks around in bare feet. And every so often I'll be there stitching away, and then a needle will fly off. Because, you know, sometimes they just do. And I'm like, man down! And he's like, oh no, my poor feet. Because you can guarantee if I lose a needle, he's going to stand in it, and he's going to end up with, you know, one of John James' finest gold needles stuck in his foot. So I thought I'd be a little bit proactive this year, and I bought one of these things. This has a huge magnet inside here. Find something with a needle in it. Oh, marvellous. Picks it up, no fuss. Saves his feet a treat. So if you haven't got one, they're about £8 on Amazon. They're called a magnetic magnetic something. Can't remember the name of the thing. When I find it, I'll put it in here, somewhere down at the bottom. But they're marvellous, and you know, I dropped a needle earlier, but because it's a strong magnet, keep it away from credit cards, phones, anything that can be affected by a strong magnet. But if you haven't got one of these in your stash, get one, because Nicola tells you so. So now we're going to move on to some haul, and the actual stitching haul that I got. You know, we've gone through the tablet, we've gone through the doodad, the magnetic thingy, what's it, thing, doodah, whatever you call it. My glasses look crooked, so you know, you'll often find me fiddling with them because I hate it when I look crooked. So I'm very lucky to work for a company as well, where as part of a recognition system, we get points, and points make, well, they make for me stash. It's the only thing that I can find that I want to spend it on. So in the last year I stitched a wheat field with cypresses, which was a Van Gogh piece that the National Gallery had chartered, and I decided to get a couple of companion pieces for it. So I should have brought Wheatfield up really, but no, didn't work. So I got a water lily, some Monet. This is not the full picture, you know, I don't even think it's a full picture on the back, but this is a 14 count, so that's another full coverage piece that I got, and thanks work, thanks for those people that gave me some points and meant I could get that. And I got another National Gallery piece, because you're going to be sensing the theme here, quite like the what do they call them, old masters, traditionals, the classics. Van Gogh. Got some sunflowers, and again this one is on 14 counts. Lots of yellows in that one, yellows in Avarice, yellows in this one, yellows in my other whip, which is Tilton's Realm of Middle Earth. Doing a lot of yellows this year. Never mind. Okay. And the last one that I got from the points system, as it were, is something called Glow in Darkitecture London by Night. It's a DMC kit, and it is on navy blue, 14 count, and it has light effects thread in it, and it also has glow in the dark thread. So you got Big Ben, House of Parliament, and it says in the back here, these designs really do glow in the dark. And they obviously do some other ones as well. There's Paris, Empire State Building, Taj Mahal. Yeah, but yeah, that's not a full coverage, which is a bit of a change for me at the moment, because I like my full coverage. When I got the Tree of Dreams, I also picked up another cross stitch from it's not Joy Sunday, it's one I got from AliExpress, and it's another pre-stamped one, but instead of getting it with cotton threads, this one I got with some silk threads, and it's a huge piece. It's an 11 count, and it's got some, you know, huge canvas, and it's beautifully serged canvas, so I don't have to worry about ends fraying, because I've just not enough hours in the day for serging. I'm not doing that. Just cut it a bit bigger, But it's come with these beautiful satin threads, which feel just so fabulous. And the colours in this are gorgeous as well, you know. Mind you, I think it'd help if I showed you what the actual chart was, wouldn't it? The chart is... Everything's falling out. It's the most beautiful peacock. And I absolutely fell in love with this when I saw it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that. Haven't put a stitch in it yet, as you can no doubt tell. But this is huge. Huge. I'm like, oh my god. Oh. That's Andy's banjo. Yeah, I was like, oh god. Oh, I can't even. I could use this as a blanket. Alright, it's enormous. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but it's one of those, we all know, we all buy kits, stick them on the radar to do, in the to-do pile. 6 months later you still haven't started them. It's only when you go on a stash ban that you actually get around to it. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you was something that's quite special to me. As I said at the beginning, I started cross stitching when I was 14. I could knit and I could crochet, and I'd done those from being about 8 years old. My mum and my aunt both, you know, between them taught me how to knit and crochet. My glasses are crooked again. What am I doing? Oh my god. Never mind, let's leave it. My aunt and my mum both between them taught me about knitting and crochet. From me being about 9, I was knitting cardigans and stuff like that. Although I hadn't picked up needles now in a number of years, since the eldest one, who's nearly 20, was born. And I remembered the first cross stitch design I ever did, and it was something then that my mum bought it me for Christmas. I started stitching it on Christmas Day, and by New Year's Day it was done. And I gave it back to my mum as a present in a frame when I was 14, because it was a birthday in February. And for years and years I always wondered what had happened to it, and I still don't know. I don't know where the piece is. I really have no idea. But thanks to the power of Facebook, I managed to track down the pattern. Now, I remember getting this in the form of a kit, and back in, you know, when I was 14 in the mid-80s, you didn't go to Hobbycraft or online retailers or, you know, anything like that, because it didn't exist. You could very rarely get hobby kits. You had to know where to look. And I believe my mother got this one from like a catalogue or, you know, some, you know, back then you used to sort of pay weekly or monthly and you get a Christmas hamper, you know, that kind of thing, you know, where you pay on the door like a catalogue or whatever. And I think it came from something like that. All I can remember is that it was a full kit, but I managed to track down the pattern. So on Facebook somebody had actually posted a finished picture of it, and I found a chart book which has the piece in it, and it's one of a number of samplers by Susan Treglone, the Something Special Sampler Collection, and it's actually the one that's on the front. And I was so thrilled to find this because I lost my mum a few years ago, and you know, I kind of said about this and that I wanted to find it and I perhaps would like to do it again, and I'm so pleased to have found this. It cost me like, you know, about 7 or 8 quid off eBay, because this chart now, it's one of those, it's 30 years old. You might not find it, you know, and it was a case of I'm going to see it, I see it, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to stitch it at some point. That's it. So it says, the poem says on the middle, it says, no matter what, no matter where, it's always home if love is there. And as you can see, you can you know, personalise it, put your own name in it. And then you've got the tulip and the hearts and the birds and the baskets and the trees and the flowers and so on. And this was the thing that started all of this and more, because half of my living room is filled with my stash. In fact, this is a 3-bedroom house. I have 2 daughters in one room and 1 daughter in another. I'm waiting for a room to empty so I can have a craft room. And it's the only way I'm going to get one, is when the girls, you know, decide to leave home. Not that I'm pushing them into it. You know, they can stay here as long as they want. So yeah, this is the one that's kind of started it all. And I don't know if I want to start this year. I think I'd like to. Let's see how we get on with these. And as I said, I've got a Tilton on the go as well. It's the Middle-earth map, the Realm of Middle-earth. It's about 33-ish pages in of a 150-page pattern. I can't show that because it's on a massive floor stand, and you know, it's just not going to happen. If I had to take it off to recite it, then what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it and then insert it. But other than that, so that's a bit about me and what I'm doing and what I've done and what I've got to do and what my stash is like and my hoard. I have the Disney stitching collection as well. That's the, you know, part work thing, and boxes and boxes and boxes of magazines that go back 20 years, and loads of whips that I haven't even thought about looking at for this year. So I don't know how often I'm going to update and do an actual floss tube. This is obviously the first time I've done it. I'd like to do some stitch with me's and you know, some stitch and chat kind of thing. I figure if I do like a floss tube once a month, I'm going to look at getting Instagram, putting the link down there. I actually discovered Flosstube in the summer last year during the pandemic. I was bored. Had a week off work. Was supposed to go on holiday, but of course that never happened. So I discovered Flosstube then, and I watched loads of people. Started off with Gidge, Creativity by Gidge. She's not done a video for a while. Where are you? We need your world of random and crazy, lady. I discovered Darren, the Darcy Stitcher. Darren lived, he's now in Australia, but he lived not far away from me here in the UK. Darcy Cameron, everybody talks about Darcy, about how funny he is, and he is. And last time I was watching his video, I was trying to stitch at the same time, and actually I had to put my stitching down because I couldn't focus on it. Thanks, Darcy. Nearly spat my tea all over my stitching, you know. Especially your expletive section. I'm not going to put in swear words in this one, but you know that with you a little banjo. Not banjo, ukulele, because I'm looking at flipping banjo here, the one I bought my husband for Christmas that he's used like twice. Who else do I watch? Lora, Stitching with Lora. She does a lot of the pre-stamped stuff, and she's a sewing method stitcher, and she always has loads to say, and I just like to sit and listen to her, and her voice is so relaxing. And you know, you're great, Lora, keep doing what you're doing, you know, love it. Who else? Evelyn across the pond down there in Canterbury, I think, in the UK, and she's a lovely person. You can just feel how nice she is. She's a historian, and she does things like the Material Minute, and she also does loads of finishes, and she's always got something new and a new way of looking at things and a new way to finish objects off and stuff. I love that. It's great, you know. And because of her, I found Morgan, HoneyBeeStitcher down there in Australia. Congrats, Morgan. Congratulations on getting married. I can highly recommend it. I'm nearly 3 years in with my second husband, my upgrade, and I can highly recommend that. not the upgrading part, just a happy marriage, you know, be happy. Life's too short. I can't think of anyone else, but what I'll try and do is, you know, again, put some links and stuff and names and things on the screen. I'm hoping that hubby's going to edit this. If not, he's going to teach me, and I'm going to be shit at it, you know, I'm not going to lie. Technophobe. This is why it took me so long to get Pattern Keeper, because me and technology don't mix, and I work on a computer all day. I work for a bank, so you know I'm supposed to be good at technology and maths. Oh, it kind of fell down there, but oh, something just went bang. It was kind of scary, but anyway, right. I think I better wrap this up because I need to investigate what that bang was. I'm just wondering if it's a child going out and slamming a door, or if somebody fell off or off something or down something. Who knows? Thanks for watching. I hope you like what you see. If you do, please leave a like, a comment, you know, share with your Flosstube friends. I'd love that. Also, my husband is a YouTuber himself. He does stitch from time to time, but his YouTube's not about that. He is a bit of a geography nerd, and it's something that we kind of rip into him a little bit about. But he calls himself the Village Idiot, and again, we'll link him down below. He likes to find villages and have a walk round and give you a bit of history and tells you about the place, and you find some beautiful little places just where we live, you're around locally, and as restrictions lifting, he's going to be going a little bit further afield. So if you are into things like that, or if you want to kind of know a little bit more about the world in which we live in, pop and follow him. He'd love that. But I think that's it. That's it for now. Gonna go and find out what the bang was. Could do with the copper. Got some more stitching to do. Need to frame put Avarice back on the frame. Pack this stuff up. See you in about, don't know if it'll be a couple of weeks. Don't know if it'll be a month for another Flosstube. But certainly in between, I'm sure, pretty sure there's going to be at least 1 or 2 stitch with me's. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and remember, stitch what you love. Bye. Gotta turn this thing off then.